Hello, everyone. Hey, girl. Hey, how y'all doing? Hopefully you're fine. Hopefully the weather's treating you better and better in the hot places and the stormy places as well. We got a 80 and a 90 and then a 66 the next day. So that's us for a start. But how you out there? Doing all right? Hopefully.
Doing good. Got rain today for the first time in like a week and a half.
I love the rain. It cleanses.
I do too after not having knocked that fall pollen down because all our ragweed's blooming and goldenrod. It's like, oh man, my sinuses yesterday were all stuffed up.
I got the sneeze and the respiratory cough. So it's fun. You know, we'll survive. Survived worse. So, Jen, any announcements? Anything coming up?
Leaving Thursday for Portland. Next Sunday night we'll be on my channel live from Portland from the hotel probably. Doing our first seminar Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the next weekend doing a second seminar. If anyone would like a personal reading with me, you can go to jinlintarot.com, and there's openings in December. If you are scheduling a personal reading with me while I'm traveling, it'll stay in a pending status. Nobody else can book that time, but it'll stay in a pending status until I can get into my emails and approve them. So just know it might not get approved till I get home.
If you're going to the seminar, I believe the first weekend should be around 72 degrees, and it is very cold at night. It's about 54-ish at night. And the second weekend is going to be around 65 degrees and 40-something at night. So dress accordingly, be dressed comfortably. You don't need to wear a business suit and an evening gown. You got to get on and off the massage table, so dress comfortably.
Yeah, be very comfortable even Friday night. Don't worry about dressing up. I'm very casual. I'm in jeans all weekend or leggings. So be very comfortable. And it can be rainy there, so bring an umbrella.
If you bring an umbrella, you will look like a tourist because nobody uses umbrellas there. So I just want to let you know that.
Or something.
Rain jackets. Rain jackets.
Yeah. Get you a hoodie. Mm-hmm. Becca, anything coming up for you?
No, nothing. I have I went live with her from the beach twice. She has a play date next Saturday with the next door neighbor, her boyfriend, at the beach. So I'll try to live stream that because y'all should see that dog. He is massive. He's a Newfoundland. So he's a giant, ginormous, fuzzy rug. But they love each other, so we'll see. And I'm hoping he teaches her how to swim, because she won't go swimming. So.
I just noticed my adopted sister, fellow Aries, Peggy Breen, has changed her screen name to Hope Brokers for Democracy.
Hi, Mom. They're saying that they loved Braxy at the beach. Now they need a Lucy in the garden.
I had her out yesterday for a little bit. I put a flea treatment on her because it's been so hot. I haven't had her out in a while. But I had her out for a little bit yesterday. But she's still got this virus thing in her eyes. And I think the pollen kind of irritates it too. So I didn't have her out for too long. Didn't do a video.
Yeah, Braxy got spoiled because I took her to the beach Thursday and then Friday. And then yesterday she started throwing a fit. And it's like, kid, I can't take you to the beach every single day. You know what I mean? Like, she was straight up throwing a fit. I was like, hello? It's like, you're going to pay for gas? You're going to get a job and pay for the gas? You know, and do the laundry when we get home and wash yourself? No. So
tell her Lassie could chop. Lassie did taxes and eye surgery and everything else.
Mm-hmm. It's like, Brax, you need to get a job. So she's got to wait till Saturday.
All my kids need a job. I was telling Johnny and Becca before we started, I've got holes in my lace panels from Roro getting her claws stuck in them.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
October the 13th is when the tarot class starts. It is beginner's tarot. I have sent out the notifications already to everyone who reserved a spot. If you did not get your notification, then send me an email. I know for sure one of you did not because it sent the email back to me. So if you didn't get it, check your spam first and then send me an email saying you didn't get it. And then I'll send you the notification. But again, I've sent it out to everyone who reserved a spot, and October the 13th is when it starts, 2 p.m. Pacific, live on Zoom. It is recorded for those who cannot be there live. After that, the next one's going to be in January, so there's that too. Do I have anything else? That's all I got. So we're going to start, Eddie, okay?
Oh,
Usually,
let's see. We've got so many options. Mr. Robinson or Melania trying to sell her book and comparing her nude photos to Michelangelo.
I saw something, you guys. Can you correct me if I'm wrong? Because I haven't watched any news or anything. I've only seen stuff on Twitter, and I haven't even gone on Twitter that much this week. But they're saying that what's his name? John Jr. was out on a date with a girl that wasn't Gargoyle. I was like, what?
Seen kissing her. Was seen
What?
kissing her. So maybe we should see how his relationship's going.
He was
because they never did get married.
But he was kissing the girl. All I saw was that.
I saw a photo of him with her, but they didn't have a photo of him kissing her. But they were saying that he was seen kissing her.
Trouble
and then Melania. Like I figure Melania is trying to sabotage Trump because he's running around with Laura Loomer, so she's going on and on about all her nude photos like they're a fashion shoot. It's like, woman, it was soft porn. There was nothing fashionable about that.
And here's
you were naked.
Michelangelo and all the great sculptors of that time, they never really sculpted naked women as much as they did men because the male form was considered art, whereas the women were kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's, and she's flat. I don't mean to talk crap, but homegirl is flat as a board. It's like, there ain't nothing pretty.
So, Kimberly Guilfoyle posted a picture recently of her kissing Don Jr. on the cheek. And many are speculating that this is her basically saying, well, everything's okay in Jonesville. This is my man. You know, never mind what you heard. Don't believe your lying eyes type of thing. Meanwhile, there is a photo of Don Jr. at a dinner or luncheon with this woman, Bettina Anderson, if that's her name, something like that. Eyewitnesses said he kissed her or she kissed him, and she had her hand on his thigh and was rubbing it, but there's no photo of that. That's just what the eyewitness says. So this is all alleged.
It was a Lauren Boebert moment, but nobody got their cell phones out fast enough.
I saw Ona in the chat. Hi, Ona.
Gail's there. Hi, Gail.
So the girl had her hand on his lap, supposedly kissed her, or they were kissing or whatever.
So my question is, to be nosy for a second, because Kimberly Guilfoyle and Don Jr. are supposed to be engaged.
Well, they have been for years, right? It's
for
been
like
years.
25
like 4 years, I would think. But that doesn't stop Trump's. I mean, Donald Trump always finds his next wife before he gets rid of the first one.
I mean, why would you want to marry somebody in the family, first of all? But it's like, what is the dynamic of their relationship? Are they in a good spot? Kimberly
Like,
and
you better
Don,
not get too close to his face.
Jealous? Was he just doing what his daddy would do and just play the field because he can? Or
better not get too close to his face because he'll snort you up his nose.
Or you're going to get contact high from the cocaine that's left on his face. So what's the question?
Every photo I see of him now, he's like,
What's the question, Johnny? What's their relationship like Guilfoyle and the gargoyle and
Are they
Sniffy?
okay? Are they in a good spots? Are they just trying to keep up appearances, maybe?
Them's fighting words.
Mm. Maybe, Tasha, maybe it's an open relationship. That's a lot. That's very open for you just to be all outside. Like that. You're going to have me looking crazy.
Is the other woman a blonde, right?
Okay.
Like brown or blonde? Well, I got two women. This one's in the past.
Dark hair.
Yeah, Guilfoyle's in the past. What's going on? Is that my computer? No. Heard an echo. There's a lot of talk going around that's getting a lot of attention. Guilfoyle's in defense mode about it, but I get their toast. He's out, trying to raise money, traveling around, working. You want to call it that, but there's this other woman. He's getting to higher ground with her. He's higher with her. I'll leave it at that. Because if I pull another card, it's probably got the devil coming up.
There it is.
What is that? The tower?
The devil. Oh, what you get back?
The woman, the anchor, the book, the ship, and the lilies. She knows what he's doing. She's just going to stick around Guilfoyle for as long as she needs to before she goes on a relaxing vacation with somebody else. Like she knows what's up. She has knowledge. She knows what he's doing. She might try to, oh, we're going on vacation. We're going to have a great time at this resort, yada, yada, yada. She knows what he's doing, but she sticks it out. The woman and the anchor, she sticks it out. So probably until she can find something better. But I mean, who's going to have those leftovers? Like, I'm just saying.
Until somebody dumps her.
It's amazing either one of them can find somebody.
Well, I can understand him because people think he's rich or he has that Trump appeal to women like her or to women like Loomer who want, like Donald Trump, like, why would you want to lay under that? But he's got that kind of appeal to where somebody.
And he's got to appeal to the social class.
Visual, Johnny. Oh. Too much visual. It's kind of like when I watch somebody eating a popsicle, I get all skeevied up. Hey, Braxy. Johnny's keeping us out, Braxy.
I meant that in
Look,
you got the whole chat room throwing up now.
I don't even want to think of Trump naked, much less having to be underneath.
Well, I mean, he had to be naked, but maybe he has a burger high and he just rolls over on you or something.
Oh.
But he has that appeal to people who think that they could be like Melania, that they can get with him and have some sort of higher status in life. And so, there is the Six of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Pay attention to this story if you like salaciousness, because there is some chaos that will become public pretty soon, because the chaos with the Knight of Swords doesn't really take all that long. So there's some sort of extra rumblings that are going on there too. You may even hear about an action that was betraying. So you will Not necessarily see, but you'll hear about more of this type of thing, because with the judgment card, that means it's all coming back around again. So you'll hear about this again. There's going to be either that same woman or another woman, but it's probably that same one. The devil and the Hierophant, the good and the evil there, but this is both restrictive in its way, which means that there is a certain image that she wants to portray, both of them, probably more so Kimberly, that everything's fine, but she knows it's not, because you can see the writing. You can see the writing on the wall.
I mean, I know that we don't know people behind closed doors, especially politicians and public.
But they don't close the door. We hear about it all.
How did you go from Gavin Newsom to that trash that is a Trump? I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Trying to climb the ladder.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense if you're, climbing the ladder.
She wants to be probably a socialite. And the word of warning is the hangman. So she is going to basically, because I think this is more so her, that she is going to stick it out, if you will. She's going to just kind of suspend this as self-sacrifice. Just wait and see what happens. I don't think that's a good plan, but you do you, boo. There's a man here involved. He may be some kind of eyewitness or something of that nature. He talks, and so I wonder if he's related to or has something to do with that Bettina lady. So
Greta is saying he's been complaining in public about her. Ooh, that's
he's done it on several occasions. I've seen two where he says she nags a lot.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
He complains about, and the first couple times I seen it, he did it in a joking way, but it's like, no, you meant to say that.
She's 55 years old now, so she's one of the cougars at Mar-a-Lago.
It's like you do realize that when you get with a Trump, you have an expiration date, right?
You do.
Yeah,
very much so.
Just saying.
Unless you have a baby by him or something. Even then, so I guess.
Well, I mean, he's got how many other kids?
2, 3, something like that. But it's from the same person.
He's got like 4 or 5, doesn't he?
And how did that work out for that marriage and divorce? So
Kimberly Guilfoyle came along. And then next thing you know, he's divorced.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, ain't that special. Well, let's stay on the petty train. He has 5 kids.
He has 5 kids, yeah.
Why? It's too
how
many
did that thing reproduce 5 times? That's like, no. Those poor children.
That's a gene pool we don't need any more of. Thank you. Let's stay on the petty train. So Ashley Madison's Gold Star member, Mark Robinson, allegedly his email, according to an aide that went anonymous, his email address is registered with Ashley Madison, which is that the right word name?
Yeah.
That's the site where you go to have affairs, basically.
Other married people.
Yes, and he apparently was on a couple of porn sites saying he was a black Nazi, and he wished slavery was still a thing because he would love to own a couple slaves as well. Meanwhile, you are this color. I don't think you read
Johnny,
the books or anything, but
Johnny, correction, he's a lot darker than you. So
even still,
there is no
whether you this color or this color, you the wrong color to be owning slaves is what I'm trying to say. But I mean, okay, if whatever, right? But
he also thinks women shouldn't have the right to vote. He'd like to see that reversed.
Mm-hmm. So he likes slaves and enslaved people and enslaved women, basically.
And apparently has a fetish for transgender porn.
For trans porn. He denies all of this. mind you. But of course,
Oh,
I
of course he
saw
does.
that he denied it and said that it was AI. And it's like, excuse me, sir, but these posts were from 2008, way before AI was a thing. So that doesn't really square with what you're saying, but okay.
You used a real email address? I don't think so.
I mean, it's like Gates using his Venmo, which tracks everything to pay for underage people, which we'll get to you too, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So first, I want to start with number one. Will he hurt Donald Trump in North Carolina? Donald Trump has endorsed him, and then all of these other stories have come out. One guy, Tom Cotton, he's a Republican from where, Kentucky or somewhere. He's come out and says Robinson needs to answer some of these allegations. Now, he was talking specifically about the Jewish allegations. Listen,
What did he say about Jewish?
I don't know.
Trump said that if he lost the election, it was because of the Jews.
I saw that, but I didn't.
Mark Robinson had some Jewish comments too.
I'm not surprised.
One thing that Mark Robinson, here's the thing. I don't know if, just like Clarence Thomas, somebody needs to run past you with a mirror to show you what you look like. It does not matter if you can come out and say a bunch of stuff about a bunch of people, but Jews and gays will always get you in the headline, number one. I don't care what color you are. Especially since in every black neighborhood I've ever lived in, the people who own all the stuff in that neighborhood are Jews or Chinese. And so there's going to be a little bit of a disconnect when you start trying to criticize people or have some little odd comment that you want to throw out there. You're going to have to answer for those things.
Trump was saying that while, what's his name, Adelson was sitting there in the audience, Adelson or however you say his name, one of his donors is sitting there that's Jewish.
So my question first is, does his endorsement now hurt Donald Trump in North Carolina? Or maybe not. Yeah, so maybe you just don't like Mark, but you still like Trump type thing.
He's dropping in the polls like crazy. Adelson or Edelman, he was saying that he should go to Israel and run for president. He still thinks he's running against Joe Biden. What are we?
I've been getting that in those readings. It was so strange to keep seeing that pop up because I'm thinking he can't possibly be that obsessed about Biden. He's got a new enemy, right?
I'm surprised he doesn't think he's running against Barack Obama because once you're rent free in his head, he can't get you out. It's like a glitch. You're just stuck there forever.
This is hard. Jesus.
May I please go?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Kiss your lucky stars and your hope. Goodbye. Bye-bye with the clouds. It's done. Kaput. Loss. There's no chance in North Carolina. If this is chance and luck, that's not good. That's really bad. So who else are they going to insult? We have gays, transgender, women of all shapes, sizes, and color, and marital status and child status, Jews, black people, like the handicapped people, veterans, active duty military. I'm running out of fingers here, Johnny. Like
he might well come out and say fat people suck too with his big ass.
Well, no, he just called the supporters fat at a rally the other day. So people,
Judgment and bad news. All the celebrations were in the past. There's a new emotion now. This is a very feminine energy too. So I'm getting like Trump needs to move along. His message will make a lot of people anxious. So Tower and fortunes changing. I get the strength of the female voters coming out is like the death to both of them. Kamala's gonna win.
The Wheel of Fortune, this is going to get worse in time. too.
Oh,
So
that's
it's,
pretty. Hold on, Johnny. Can you hold that card up? Oh, that's really pretty. Is that one of the ones you made?
yes. So it's going to get worse in time because these are the little leaking sieves. They're just it's gonna keep coming out this and that story and that story and that story and that story. He can denounce them all he wants to now. That doesn't work. The magician, there's manipulation, or there's going to be, I don't want to say manipulation. It's more so highlighting. It's still manipulation, but it's going to be highlighting things or talking points or sound bites. That's the word. And going to be putting that out and putting it on repeat there in North Carolina. Like, this is what the guy who's, mind you, he's lieutenant governor. So
Has he always been this way?
Yeah, I guess.
His porn site visits have been happening for years.
But I'm saying, with all this craziness that he's spewing, how did he get lieutenant governor if he's always been this way? Or was he just really good at hiding it and then he just went crazy?
He went total MAGA. I think he like said some things, but
he was a Republican always, because he beat some other Republican to win the primary or something of that nature that I read on his Wikipedia page. So you know how that is. You can put anything on there. But with the Strength card and the Four of Pentacles, this is stuck. This is stuck to him like glue. Mind you, it's the same around the country. So when Donald Trump comes out and endorses a person, they're usually not the greatest people in the world, first of all. And then they don't usually do very well because he's not the greatest person in the world. But this is going to stay. This is going to stick. This is also, be careful what you wish for, too, with the Nine of Cups, because there's going to be a lot more coming out, especially about excess, things that you do in excess, a lot of that type of thing. And it ain't, I don't see exactly money here, but I guarantee you there's going to be some kind of finance, something about you paying for something that is not something that you would put on your taxes or something you would reveal to your donors.
All he needs now is to do a Matt Gaetz. That's all he's missing at this point.
At this point.
What was his name? P. Diddy or whoever? A Matt Gaetz and a P. Diddy? That's all he needs. That's the only thing missing from his resume at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Resume is bingo card.
Yeah.
So my second question on Mark Robinson is, what does his political future look like? Because he's lieutenant governor, and yet he's destroyed his reputation in 3 short years. And so what does it look
the
like?
way of George Santos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he really should hook up with Rudy Giuliani. Remember when Rudy was at the Four Seasons adult bookstore? It's like the two of them need to like go somewhere together and enjoy their little private rooms. Or Four Seasons, Four Seasons adult bookstore and the crematorium next door. Like, that's what you want next to an adult bookstore.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's the political future. Exactly. Let's see.
I'm going to say he's taken some Russian money. His political future is toast. The judgment's on him. Everything's changed. But he's going to be put in defense mode over something else legally, like somebody coming after him, whether it's shifting votes around, something like that. But I think this is my Biden card and my Putin card, and I'm getting Putin off of it. I'm getting there's corruption and money involved that was pushed on him, so to speak. The talking points, like, here, say this and we'll give you this much money. He doesn't have much of a political future. He's got legal issues.
I got the Rider, Clouds, Garden, Cross, and Anchor. His political future is pretty much... The problem is, it's not just him. He becomes a burden to the party, but he doesn't want to go. There's problems and confusion, big trouble for the party, and the party suffers. It's burdened by this guy, but he is persistent. He doesn't want to go. So the party is going to try to have to figure out some way to push him out. Rider, Anchor, and then Rider, Garden, and Anchor. They're going to try to figure out a way to push him out of the party, but he's not moving. He's not going. Do you see what I'm saying? So he's done, but he's dragging the party down with him, and a lot of crisis and problems with the party, probably in North Carolina. So he's a bad look for them, but he's like,
he's a bad look for anybody, but he's really bad for the Republicans.
Yeah. And Anchor with Cross, or Cross with Anchor, he's a persistent problem. You can't get rid of him. Do you see what I'm saying? So have fun with that, MAGA. Have fun, Republican Party, for endorsing the crazy. Have fun. So,
because here's the problem. All of these people who destroy their reputations and careers for Donald Trump do not have the magnetism nor Teflon of Donald Trump. Donald Trump still has MAGA supporters. MAGA supporters are not Mark Robinson supporters. They are supporters of the person Trump tells them to support until they can't anymore. But they're still stuck to that man like flies on pins.
They're supporters of anybody that supports Trump.
I think there's some sort, it didn't tell me about his political future so much. I got 2 cards for that, but this is some sort of grassroots campaign. The Ace of Wands and the 10 of Cups. Legally, I don't know what it is. It may have something to do with finance, though. But the Death card and the 7 of Wands, he will be defending himself because of some little major change. This is almost like, it's real small when it starts, but it snowballs. This is like, Bob Tom at the, North Carolina Gazette put out a story, and then that story took off. Because believe it or not, the FBI and CIA and all them people, the alphabet people, don't know everything. It was one story the FBI learned of through CNN, literally one time. And so there's some little grassroots thing or something that's small that starts some investigation or a legal trouble for him. He has to defend against his political career, though, with the Judgment and America card hangs in the balance with the Hangman. So it's like Becca said, he won't go, but he has to. Well, you don't have to. I mean, you can be the albatross or the albacore tuna around the neck of the party all you want to, but
he's a mouth like Alex Jones. He's loud.
The way that Republicans are right now, Johnny, to your point about the albatross, they're going to end up with one of those Pandora necklaces full of albatross. The Donald Trump, this guy Robinson, the Alex Jones, all of them.
And you pay $10,000 for each one.
He claims he's a black Nazi, so he's the Hindenburg. Trump's the Titanic. This ain't going well, guys.
Meanwhile, y'all on the right are trying to blame Democrats for the rhetoric of constantly comparing Trump to Hitler. Meanwhile, you got this Negro over here talking about he's a black Nazi.
Yep.
And then, mind you, we got Nazis marching around. They're not Bernie Sanders supporters. They're not Joe Biden supporters. Those are Donald Trump supporters.
I wonder what Nick would think of a black Nazi.
He had a black Nazi at Mar-a-Lago twice. That little boy with the mustache looking just like Hitler. Twice.
So, I mean, when you get mad about certain things, figure out where it's coming from first is all I'm trying to think. Third question, last question on Mark Robinson. His wife's name is Yolanda. Can we take a peek and see how their marriage is holding up against his allegations and other things? They've been together, I think, since 1991 or something like that. He's got two.
I think a lot of these Republican wives know exactly who their husbands are. They just sit there and collect a paycheck too. You know, they like the lifestyle or whatever. So they put on the pretty face, even though they know they're cheating on them and everything else.
What's the child name? Camille Cosby. It's like all them years you knew exactly who he was, but she ain't going nowhere. Hillary, same thing. They ain't going nowhere.
Let me just say he ain't getting any from her. She is blocked and protecting herself.
You would.
She's quite burdened by his image. Wouldn't surprise me if she's thinking about divorce, because this is a divorce card for me too. What's on the bottom? Oh, justice. Yeah, she may be thinking about a divorce when this is all over after the election. Moving on, moving out. She thinks all the women voters are going to vote him out. You know, so she knows she won't be sitting in the governor's mansion, ready to turn her back on him. Yeah, that'd be a first.
I get the dogs, cloud, bouquet, cross, and woman. No trust, no happiness at all. She ain't happy. However, she ain't clean herself, is what I'm saying.
I forgot about that. I just saw that in the chat. It did come out that he got it on with her sister.
Okay,
she's a horrible. Wait, she's as horrible as he is. The Girl Scout sued for over $13,000 of unpaid Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, he had a affair with her sister, so she knows exactly who he is.
But like I said, she's before all this happened, she's not exactly clean herself. the bouquet, the cross, and the woman, she's just as nasty as he is. In the marriage, no happiness, no loyalty, no friendship, no trust, none of that. But she herself is not a good person. And then with the dog, the bouquet, and the woman, I wouldn't be surprised if she has taken some sort of advantage of her position to garner favors and gifts from people that will eventually burden her. So I don't have money. It just says friendly gifts to her that cause her problems and burdens. So I don't know what that is, but maybe it's, one of those things like Clarence Thomas. Here's a trip. Here's an RV. You know what I mean? So she's
pay off your mother's house.
She's not happy, but she's not a saint either, is what I'm trying to say.
Because I think it's like a Melania situation to where you don't need to be happy with him. You need to be happy with the rest of your life because he's just the person you're attached to. I get their relationship here, King and Queen of Cups, and then there's the Hangman and the Two of Cups. It's a bit of a deal, if you will. The Two of Cups people use for love sometimes in love readings because it's a card of unions and bonds and cooperations. But it's a card of business, technically, because of the caduceus. It's a card of commerce from one person to another. So it's a business arrangement. She does receive a lot of gifts from him as well, almost like a keep me happy type thing. But there are entities here with the Ten of Pentacles, with the woman here, that gives her a lot of expensive stuff. This is like the 2026 Mercedes or something. Like, this is stuff that nobody else has. Very, very expensive things or expensive trips, especially on very large, expensive boats type thing, that kind of stuff. So I mean, listen, don't cry for her, Argentina. So she is living her best life.
But Johnny, $13,000 worth of Girl Scout, $13,000 worth of Girl Scout cookies. Listen, I know I have some weight to lose, but holy cow, $13,000.
It's probably she ordered it or to pass out or cater or something and never paid for it.
$13,000.
Oh. Well, we got two more
That's approximately 2,600 boxes.
Oh, good God.
If they're $5 a box still.
I mean, my favorite are those little, what are they called? The Thin Mints and the ones that have the coconut on it. Those are my favorite, but I could not imagine $13,000.
2,600 boxes of Girl Scout cookies.
I mean, come on.
I can't remember if they're $4 or $5 a box now. I did that math at $5 a box. 2,600 boxes.
Mm-mm.
So we got two more gross people to talk about. One, Gates, the Earth Gates. Okay, wait. It says see picture. Let me see picture.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Okay, where's the picture? That's grand.
He came up in court documents again.
Rhett Gates attended a drug-fueled sex party in 2017 with a 17-year-old girl at the center of the alleged sex trafficking scandal, according to legal documents filed to a Florida federal court shortly before midnight on Thursday, which cited sealed affidavits from 3 eyewitness testimonies, which means they saw you. The minor, who was a junior in high school at the time, arrived in her mother's car for a July 15, 2017 party at the Florida home of Chris Dorworth, a lobbyist and friend of Gates, according to the court filing. The lobbyist claimed he had been unfairly dragged into all of this by Gates and his other allies. He said he ultimately dropped the case, and the lawyers filed documents in an attempt to recoup attorney fees, blah, blah, blah. That's all his business. But the discovery in this case puts Gates at the residence with the young girl and all the activities, and also listing several other people as well. And mind you, keep in mind, what was that guy's name? Greenberg, who has all the testimony against Gates too?
Is in jail right now, isn't he?
In jail right now.
But didn't Matt Gates get off the first time because through his daddy's connections they were able to toss it out of court or end the investigation? They swept it under the rug because Gates' dad is politically connected in Florida, I thought.
Yeah, his dad's a former state senator.
Mm-hmm.
Says additionally, Gates' own ex-girlfriend, who was present at the party, provided testimony that the lawyers say rebuked Dorworth's claims that he was not there. So he's saying that he wasn't there. That was all his business, but no, now they're going to drag the lobbyist into it as well. And so it's like the domino effect. They're all just kind of going down. But they independently verified that Gates and one of the women who testified were previously involved in a relationship. One of the people that testified, mind you. And so I want to know what's next for Matt Gates. Does this mean anything? Is this going to end badly for him?
High school girl.
17. Junior.
Yeah, isn't Matt Gates married to that girl with the stripper name?
Ginger Lucky.
What was her name?
Ginger Lucky.
Ginger Lucky, the stripper. Yeah, I mean, she's not a stripper. She just has a
Stripper name.
stripper name.
Lucky Ginger, Ginger Lucky.
And I had read too that the prosecutors have phone records tying him to the
Well,
thing.
the FBI took his phone at one time when they were investigating. What's the guy in jail now?
Greenberg.
Greenberg. They confiscated his phone because they knew he made all these Venmo payments. That's when they.
How many times have we heard that line over all the Trump presidency? FBI seizes their phone. FBI seizes their phone. Like you're 14 years old and you came home with an F. It's like
you think they can't get your Venmo records? You know, all my payments go through PayPal. They're itemized. You can see exactly who they came from.
They just snatch your phone from you, meet you in a parking lot, take your phone.
And then they did it on an app with the public setting on, so everybody in their Facebook group and the whole world can see what they were making payments for. Like, I mean, these are the dumbest bunch of criminals I have ever seen. And I guess there is some truth to what that Hot Wheels kid said about that got him kicked out of Congress about the sex party. What's the boy's name?
Madison Cawthorn.
Madison Cawthorn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing he said, and they kicked his ass out so fast. It's like
Heart of the night. He's going to be fighting something.
Oh.
Couple of things. There's going to be a lot of talk about his lifestyle. A lot of talk. His smug little self at the center of this. There's steady money involved in this. So there's payoffs to younger people. So he's buying them lots of whatever. He's also, it's called statutory rape, bullying an underage person, right? You can say it's friendship all you want and that it was consensual. You bullied her. Something's going to come to light about one of the mothers. So something that he may have done, like some sort of payoff to keep a mother quiet. He's going to be in defense mode. And that may be what finally shuts him up in the house. That may be what finally gets him to leave the house.
Yeah, they pushed him down the stairs. He was over there playing Mario Kart with from Texas over there.
Sir, your mouth is a little too big. You got to get out of here.
So the bear, the ship, the man, the woman, crossroads, house, and scythe. Financial investors from overseas and huge sources of money for enterprise and trafficking. Him and a woman, multiple women. There's more than one woman in Crossroads. There's more than one woman.
Probably some money laundering and
I don't see money laundering.
Well, they did say it was trafficking when he flew the girl. That was the case that got dropped when he, with Greenberg, flew the girl. That was considered trafficking because he was trying to fly her to an island.
There's financial investors from abroad, so money coming from abroad. So I would not be surprised if this is also part of some honey trap, greater scheme from abroad. So finances abroad, and then Matt Gaetz, also investors from abroad, and the resources to traffic, to travel. Okay, him, multiple women. There's more than one. And then the house and the scythe. So what happens to him with this whole situation? Eventually, he's removed. He's removed. This is a choice of decision, separation. There's the house, either his residence, the House of Representatives, or where he lives, and then cut off right there. So whether it comes through an indictment or whatever, I don't know. I don't see it, the tower or anything here. It just says that this thing is just way bigger, more than one woman, and eventually he gets separated from. And this line and this, yeah, they're far, but they bookmark the read, so his power gets cut off. Does that make sense? So let me see here. Yeah, powerful. Sorry, I dropped the tile. Barren man, powerful man, and then he's removed. Does that make sense? So it ain't gonna go well for him, is what I'm trying to say.
I initially did not get what happens in this, but I got there's a whole bunch of eyes upon his money, because here with the Ace of Pentacles, this is also money that was with the Six of Pentacles that was paid to hashtag grain of salt, because this could be, I could be way off here. There's like an agency that can match you up. Well, that's, I guess it's not way off. That's kind of what they do. There's a place where they can go that they can find you people that you're looking for. If you get what I'm saying, like if you want them 17, they can find 17. Mm-hmm. I remember this coming to my head, the Subway sandwich guy.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. He was on the phone calling someone saying, find me a 14-year-old girl if you can, or boy, or something like that. He said boy, but girl if you can find it, or something like that. So they like order people like they're ordering from CVS or something, or QVC. It's one of these things to where the money here is being shared or paid out for opportunities in this agency here. There is a whole bunch of other money too. This is all finance here too, about very expensive things like the trips and the boats and the planes and the things like that. That's hidden, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say some of this was public money too. The reason why it may become such a big deal, especially here in the government with the Hierophant. And so with that Nine of Pentacles, it's murky. It's different if it's his own personal finance, like this was. This is his own personal finance. But this is like something is being hidden and covered up, and there's an expense, a very expensive thing, but I think it has something to do with public money or government money or donor money or something that he would violate campaign finance law with. With the Eight of Swords, there's also something here about, I would call it kidnapping, because this is a person that's being held instead of a person that's just being trafficked. So we can possibly have some charges on that too. So then I pulled three more asking specifically about the, the sex trafficking thing, and it answered specifically. There's defeat, there's court, there's kids. And so Five of Swords, Justice, Six of Cups. So defeat, court, kids. And so he does have some loss coming, fingers crossed. So
unless they go judge shopping and daddy makes a few phone calls and the judge just, but here's something to your point, Johnny. You said public money. Joel Greenberg, the tax collector, wasn't he using public funds?
He was.
He was embezzling
public funds for the drugs and the part.
Sure was.
There you go, Johnny. There you go.
Well,
as you would say, Spirit just whispered it in my ear. Tell Johnny.
I think it comes back to haunt him. Okay. So not last one, but another one. I want to know if what's going on with Puff Diddy Daddy is going to cross into politics. Ooh. He's got several pictures with Donald Trump. I don't want to necessarily link just those two together, but because Donald Trump liked to hang out with celebrities. So he's got pictures with everybody. But I want to know, because Puff is been taken down on RICO charges and sex trafficking, and Homeland Security raided his house and all that good stuff. But he is one of these people too, like they're ruminating about Jay-Z that buys politicians. And he's not the top of the food chain, but he has a very long reach. And so I want to know, will his business, his case, his court, his charges, his anything bleed over into politics? And we're going to see somebody pulled into that too.
Wasn't he married to one of the Kardashians? Or am
No,
I making Okay. So we're asking about P. Diddy.
yes, he was married to Jennifer Lopez. Not married, but they were together.
So will any of this bleed over into politics?
Yes.
There are a lot of pictures floating around Twitter from both sides of the aisle. Although there was one of Diddy with Kamala that was photoshopped. It was fake.
And mind you, he's I mean, anybody that knows he's a horrible, disgusting, gross person. But if you don't follow that type of thing, then you think he's just a business mogul. And so I don't blame a person taking a picture with him if you don't know nothing about him. But if you just have some suspicion, then stay away from him.
Listen, take what I'm about to say as with a grain of salt. I'm just looking at the cards. Persistent or achieving, getting to the goal. The birds. Speaker, house. Wouldn't that be some SHIT? Wouldn't that be some SHIT if the Speaker of the House,
a well-known person in government in a leadership role, speaker, communicate, messenger, speaker.
I'm just reading the cards. Birds sing, so speaking, and then house, literally house. So that's wishful thinking too on my part. But boy, would I would poop my pants, Johnny, if they're like Moses Mike today has been arrested for blah 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 blah. I would be like, what? I guess
mind you, a lot of people went to his freak off parties, as they call them. Mind you, also his mother can be implicated in this too, all probably, because she used to throw odd parties which he would attend when he was a minor. And so he's been, yes, apparently that's just kind of and maybe it's Jeffries. We don't know too, because everybody went. TD Jakes was one of the people who was rumored to be at the freak off party. So he had a little bit of everybody there.
And also,
go ahead.
With the birds sing. So this could also implicate other singers or people that are in the music industry. Anchor, birds, singers, and then house. So other singers in his close entourage as well. You know. Watch
it be what was that fool's name who always cried all the time? Boehner.
Oh God.
There's defending the 7 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, and the Death card. So yes, there will be some names because there's some regret from something in the past there. There's a lot of change coming from someone here. I don't know how to tie that in, but there's someone who has passed on that is going to be wrapped up in this news story as well. Because there's death, there's judgment. Judgment for me is crossing over. The Wheel of Fortune is time, the 10 of Swords. If I get 10 of Swords and death, then we're talking death, not just change. So there is death here, the death of someone that is going to be wrapped up into this. And I think also that person could be attached to a politician some way, somehow too. So be careful of the friends you keep. Goodness. Okay. Odd story. Okay. Elon Musk is denying this because
Nice everything.
because you would. But let me look here. I have to screenshot these things so I remember.
I do.
So the man in Chechen, warlord, he's being called. His name is Ramzan Kadyrov, Kadyrov. First name Ramzan. Ramzan. He claimed last month that he received a pickup truck, a Tesla Cyber truck from Elon Musk, that he fitted with a machine gun, and said that these would be used in the war against Ukraine. And thank you, Elon Musk, for sending them to me. And Elon Musk is like, no, I did not do that whatsoever. I did not send him that because, mind you, this man is an ally of the Kremlin, which means he is also sanctioned, which means Elon cannot do business with such a person. But he is denying it. I would like to know, is he going to get into any trouble whatsoever over this machine gun Cybertruck? So again, he claimed last month that he received the gift from Elon, suggested that he might use it in the war against Ukraine. Because he criticized Elon, because he said to Elon, why do you give expensive gifts from the heart and then turn them off? Because Elon turned his truck off. So he's deaded the truck. The truck cannot go anywhere. And so he wants to know, why did you give it to me and then turn it off? And Elon is saying, I didn't give it to him. Now, he can't buy a truck where he is. So Elon is saying what happened is he got the truck from a third party and the third party shipped it to him. Because from where he is and under all the rules and stuff, he cannot buy a Tesla Cybertruck. And so he's saying, Elon gave it to me. That's how I got it. And Elon is saying, no, I did not. And he turned it off. So will he get into any trouble over this Cybertruck?
Queen of Swords on the bottom. That usually represents a judge for me.
They're the worst looking cars I ever seen.
They are ugly.
I read this story about a guy who has one. He was married, got divorced, moved out, moved into an apartment, and the Cybertruck doesn't fit in normal spaces. But he can't send it back because Tesla says if you try to return it in the first year, you have to pay a $50,000 fine. Like $50,000?
He's going to be put in defense mode. I think he's going to end up, because I'm getting, there's an investigation to this thing that went on overseas with this oligarch and like another foreign leader. This is going to take some time, though. This isn't going to be wrapped up anytime soon. I feel like we may hear a little more about it around Christmas time because there's a Christmas wreath on that one. But there's the look of this is treasonous. The image of this is treasonous. It's not good. This was an investment by Elon. There was something that was agreed to. This was an investment. I'll send you a truck. You do this for me. But he's going to be put in defense mode over this. So that tells me, yeah, there's going to be some kind of investigation or something.
Thank you, Mr. DYN. Queen of Swords, the 10 of Cups. You get some people looking. I don't know if he's going to get in trouble necessarily, but this is also not going away no time soon. Five of Wands is your word of warning, which means there's going to be a lot of conflict there. The Two of Swords and the King of Swords, somebody just needs to pursue it. But I don't know if you're going to get anyone to take up that mantle, because the Queen of Swords is here too, but she's with the Ten of Cups. So it's almost as if someone may give you a slide eventually. But this does, with the Fool card and the High Priestess, this does uncover a bunch of other stuff. But I don't think you're going to go down because of this, but you are put on alert. Machine gun Cybertruck. Okay, so we will ask that, Mr. DYL, is there a direct connection that will come out between Donald Trump and Puff Daddy when it comes to his crimes, Puff Daddy's crimes?
This puppy did have a home in Florida, one in LA. He's got several houses. There's a lot of pictures of Melania and Trump and puppy. It's Braxy. My pony. I can't call her My Little Pony anymore. She's not little anymore.
Was she ever?
She's just a full-fledged pony now.
And the question was, does any of the Diddy crimes connect to
Trump
Donald
directly.
Okay.
And if it does it get into any actual trouble?
I get the dog, the crossroads, and the clover. Not Trump directly, perhaps a few of his aides or people around him that are close. Aides, advisors, people that guide him, protect him. But a couple of those people were partying and having fun.
It's kind of a 50-50 thing. If they can, like, what I'm getting is like around when he did Celebrity Apprentice, when he was doing that, that they'll be looking into some things, and this trafficking, something sneaky, bullying. That spells trafficking. So they may be looking into it. I definitely get judgment on 3 Republicans. So I definitely get that there's 3 Republicans that are going to get caught up in this. And especially with underage. Got the law coming after them. Trump directly, this is going to grow. There's an abundance of women that are coming out. This is going to grow. Trump's going to have some regrets. Tower and having to fight to defend. So
watch some of those people be that Mark Robinson dude. Watch.
Yeah, or like maybe like Epstein went to Mar-a-Lago to recruit women. So maybe Diddy did a little of that too.
Watch Elon Musk get tied up in this too.
Yep. The whole Palm Beach area is nasty.
Money and sex and money. Get you a Scrabble board or something. What is wrong with you, Pete?
Mm-hmm.
We know they got crooked police down there too that let Epstein.
Let's go. Sexually assault minors, but then take their rights away when one of us impregnate them.
There is a woman, and maybe his mother, because again, all that stuff coming out now about how horrible she was too. when you see the two of them together, it's very cringy. Like it's like I seen the first little part, and then I actually had to start skipping ahead because it was very cringy to see the two of them together, because it's almost like that was her boyfriend and not her son. It had a weird energy to it, and I'm like, yeah, this is gross for me. But there's a woman here, an older woman, and she is right at the center of all of this. I don't know if she was his Ghislaine or what, but she made a list, and she basically, with the Two of Swords, she was the one who would block or accept, that type of thing. So she was the bouncer at the club. But for them two directly, I think it was a go around type of thing. But I do get Donald Trump at the scene of the crime. There is the Two of Cups, which is a deal. There's the Four of Wands, which is a party. Then there's the Lover's card. And then there's also the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is about wit and romance. Charm. Lover's card is relationships of a romantic nature. There's your deal and your party. And so, and I get him there, but do I get him in trouble for anything? No, right now. I can,
because so many cases that haven't gone to trial yet. That
he's not in trouble for Epstein right now. And so, but there is a Queen of Swords here who also could represent. He may need a lawyer in the future in regards to the Puff Daddy stuff. And so we'll see. But I don't get that he gets any kind of punishment from this right now. But Seven of Pentacles, it could come in time, though. Stuff still has to be uncovered. They got a bunch on him. And mind you, him being on suicide watch is protocol, because he is not just a suspect, he's a witness. And so they need him for further information if he will talk, which I would.
And here's the thing with all this stuff it's been like, you know how they call it the drip, drip, drip of leaks? This is like somebody left the fire hose on. If all this stuff is coming out now, can you all imagine what the October surprise is going to be? I mean,
maybe we should watch the October surprise.
How much more is there going to come out, you know?
Does J.D. Vance want to... Now, I guess the answer is no. I'm going to ask it anyway. Does he want to run for vice president? I just recently seen... Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm going to sit this one out because I did a GT and I have it in my chart. So I just need to go live with it. So I'm going to sit this one out.
I recently seen him do an interview where he has a rent-a-dog because the campaign said it would make him look good. He literally had a rental dog.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He's doing all of this because the campaign is making it. I get it. Does he even want to be there?
Well, admitting that they made up the whole story about Springfield, Ohio, it's like sabotaging.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you tell this man that they rented this dog for me? Like, why are you getting all these details?
He's got connections to Peter Thiel and people with money and stuff. Other than, if they're trying to get him in there so that they can get rid of Trump, either 25th Amendment him or, he goes on his own because he's not healthy, to make him president. It's like,
my thing is, how much of a pathetic human being do you have to be that you have to go rent a dog to make yourself seem like a semi-human, nice person? Just make it.
Weren't your children enough? Because
he's on Jenny. He's on video telling his kids, I quote, "Shut the hell up! Shut the hell up!"
He called Trump a Nazi several years ago, and now Trump is going to North Carolina to be with the black Nazis. So I wonder, okay. You don't like Nazis, but yet you're running with one.
I do not understand how his wife can stand to look at him right now, because that man has done a completely like 360 on who he is for his own political ambitions. Yeah, you want to go after my wife? Go ahead. You want to go after my kids? Go ahead. I don't care. He's willing to throw everybody and anybody under the bus for his own ambitions. That's just gross. Oh, and he refers to his kids as her kids. This is, you know what? This is the type of man that I would be slipping poison into his hot body if I was married to something like that.
He is. You know what, though? When you think about it, big picture, this is the exact candidate he needed, Donald Trump, because he makes him look worse than he already is. He makes the campaign fail. Like, this is kind of what needs to happen, because Donald Trump is not a shoo-in to lose. We just all believe he is because, don't be complacent, as Roxy says. But he needs a candidate like this to where you're like, ain't no way. Ain't this, no.
I think he's a lot like Robinson. He's wishes granted and these visions of grandeur. There was an indecision about whether he wanted to run or not, but he had these visions of grandeur and look at all the money and the corruption I can continue with. His messaging, because he knows Trump disturbs everything, breaks everything down. So his messaging, it's almost like he's trying to break from Trump, to be more shocking than Trump. Is what I'm getting. He's trying to be more shocking than Trump.
Gross.
But I'm also getting he's going to have some legal problems. Wouldn't surprise me if he's been involved in some sex parties of a more gay nature. Might have been filmed.
Nice. Put that on Pornhub.
Mm-hmm. But there may be some legal issues around it. He's got legal problems coming. His fortune's getting ready to change. But
I'm just waiting at this point, because everybody keeps digging up all these old videos of him and pictures of him from high school. I'm just waiting for somebody to find him on the hub over there doing stuff.
He's corrupt. You might find him on what's the
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. You might find him over there with George Santos.
Does he want to be there? Walk away. 8 of Cups, Tower, Destruction. No, he would like to walk away from the dumpster fire. But at the same time, there is the devil, so devious schemes, and the 3 of Swords, betrayal, and the Star. He is actually looking past Donald Trump. And stay tuned for the JD Vance tableau, is all I'll say on that. But the...
Oh, you did one?
No, I'm talking about yours.
Oh. I'd be curious to see
the
you do one.
deviousness and the betrayal and looking past Donald Trump. This is a card of the future. So does he want to run with him? No. But does he want to be president? Sure.
Power, yeah. He's got visions of grandeur.
And
he doesn't like Trump, but I feel like Peter Thiel pushed him into this, but it's almost like there may be some blackmail or something going on to push him into this.
In his grand tableau,
or money, promised a lot of money.
In JD Vance's grand tableau, he doesn't fall in the grand tableau. He falls outside of it in the line of fate, and he's in the house of key. He was promised access to power. It's part of a scheme, like Johnny was saying. Just deal with this guy.
We'll take Trump out. We'll 25th Amendment him or something.
Power's going to come to an end. You're going to be the shoo-in. You're our preferred one. you're the one that we're going to give access to. But I have to put that tableau up. I just don't know when I'm going to do it.
Okay, so let's go to, you know what, we're going to go off the beaten path for a second here. Because I want to. It's my channel, I can do that. The Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, on Friday sued 3 large U.S. health companies that negotiate insulin prices, arguing that the drug middleman boosts their profits while artificially inflating the cost for patients, which, of course, they do.
Yeah.
The suit targets 3 of the biggest so-called pharmacy beneficiaries and their managers: United Health Group, CVS Health or Caremark, and Cigna, which, they're a piece of, so don't get me started on some Cigna. Anyway, all of them are owned by or connected to health insurers and collectively administer about 80% of the nation's prescriptions, according to the FTC. And the lawsuit also includes PBM, affiliate group purchasing organizing, which brokers drug purchases for hospitals. And so they get to mark it up too. That way the hospitals pay more money and then they charge you more money. That's why you pay $30 for an aspirin. And so they also, whoever the PBM is, they sit at the center of all of the drug supply chains in the US. So what I want to know is, will this lawsuit, thank you, Henry, will this lawsuit be effective in lowering the cost of insulin?
If they got it down for seniors,
Because that's ridiculous. I mean,
if they can get it down for Medicare and Medicaid, then they should be able to get it down for all health insurance providers. This price fixing crap. There's lobbyists involved in this too, because there's Republicans involved in this. Republicans lying for them so they can make steady money. I'm getting the people that are suing are going to win this when it's all said and done, justice and judgment. But it's going to spawn some other investigations, moving into some other investigations, because there's lobbyists involved. Thank you, Joanne.
Crossroads House Bouquet. Will it help to lower the price of insulin? Yes. However, there's a thing here where there's kickbacks. So it's not just the pharmaceutical companies, because there's choices that are made in the administration or in the House of Representatives or within a certain entourage of people and they're getting gifts.
Yeah, this was on the bottom, which can be either money laundering or kickbacks or payoffs. You know, there's payoffs involved. You're right.
It's like a kickback. There's a kickback scheme. I don't know if the lawsuit will dredge that up. I only pulled 3 tiles, but yes. But the bigger problem is the scheme with the kickbacks.
Yeah.
Because
how else do our senators go in poor and end up millionaires, you know?
And here's the thing. For those of you that don't know, my husband is type 1 diabetic. Insulin has been the same since insulin was a thing. They might tweak a couple things here and there, and there might be a slight difference between the short-term insulin and the insulin that he takes at night, which is the long-term one, but it's the same thing. So why are you ripping people off at $700, $800, $900 a month without insurance? Without insurance for a life-saving drug. It's not like it's Tylenol. No, you need this or you're going to die. And for research and development, what freaking research and development? You already have the formula. You're not changing it. It's still the same. It's been the same for decades. So what is, and you can't tell me it's production. You can't tell me it's production. It's this, you're pumping out the same amount. So I'm just saying.
Meanwhile, if you go to another country, it's 15 cents.
Peanut went on a trip to the Netherlands a few years ago, and he lost his backpack that had his long-term insulin and his short-term insulin. He had to go see a pharmacist just to get the pharmacist to write him a prescription and get his insulin. With seeing the pharmacist, guess how much it cost him? With no insurance, because he was in the Netherlands. $25. Do you know how much that would cost you here? You would pay how much to see a doctor, and then how much to get your insulin. You're talking about $1,500 out the door to get a life-saving drug.
You probably have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to get an appointment.
And it's like, and it's in the Netherlands, he just walked right into a pharmacy, and they're like, here you go, $25. And that's all he paid. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I get the 2 of Wands, so there is some sort of plans being drawn up, like a blueprint type of thing about pricing or some sort of charts or something like that. The 7 of Swords, though, there is a scheme still here with the 6 of Wands, someone elevating themselves still, because why wouldn't you? That's the way things go. But yes, there is a scheme about elevation, but yes, it does actually help with the 8 of Pentacles. It's more of a paperwork thing, or it's somewhere in the details to where they can convince people this is why it's coming down, instead of just you being sued by the Federal Trade Commission.
I don't understand it. I mean,
Biden said he wanted to get it down for everybody, not just the
not
seniors.
just the seniors, because Matt, we're paying insurance and everything, and thank God for insurance, but it's still expensive. It's not $35, so.
Back in the mud again, then. Senator Lindsey Graham met Wednesday with Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen, however you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have a saying
like
down.
Getting indicted in Georgia wasn't enough for him.
We have a saying down in the South that fat meat is greasy, which means you do not need proof. All you got to do is look and see. All you got to do is hear what I said and believe me. But you won't believe fat meat is greasy until you go stick it in your mouth too. You were this close to prison for that man. This close, and now you're doing it again. This is insanity at this point, because anybody supporting Donald Trump at this point in time, that's a mental affliction of some sort. They should do case studies on people like this, because this is more than just what's cult mentality, but that's a mental affliction of some sort. because he's not only shown you and proven to you how he is, who he is, but you see the examples of people who get into trouble for him and he does nothing for them.
And Johnny, to your point, Lindsey Graham is a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He went to school. He's not an idiot like Donald Trump. He has a functioning brain. He knows the law. He knows that he's putting himself in legal jeopardy.
Think about the timing of it, though. Laura Loomer attacks him for Trump, attacks him, tells him he needs to come out of the closet, Lindsey, because Lindsey said that Kamala won the debate. So next thing you know, he's off doing Trump's bidding in Nevada or Nebraska or wherever.
And in Nebraska, the turtle went up there, and all the electorates or whatever the hell they were screaming at Mitch McConnell for the winner take all stuff that Lindsey Graham was pushing, and McConnell pushed back and said, no, that's not how we do it. No. So I cannot believe that the turtle was like, no, to that whole scheme. But Lindsey Graham's over there licking boots. I'm just waiting for next year when we have Lindsey Graham on tape calling up people asking them to overturn an election. I'm just waiting, because he did it this last time. Lucky for him, there was no recording, and it was just one person's word against his.
I just think it's interesting the timing, because he's attacked by Laura Loomer like multiple times on Twitter, and then he goes quiet, and then next thing we know, he's over there trying to negotiate how to process votes.
If it's not this, I just want to know, will he get himself into legal trouble? Not jeopardy to where he's investigated. Actual legal trouble, as in he has to have a lawyer, he has to go to court, he's facing prison or jail over Donald Trump in this election. Will he get some sort of actual day in court for trouble?
Didn't learn anything from what happened in Georgia, where he had to go testify. Let me do it again for you, Trump.
He's trying to call a special legislative session in which lawmakers could consider changing the state's appointments of electoral votes. And so that's what he's officially out there trying to do. Change the vote for us, please. Give us the electoral college votes. Goofy boy.
Just got to learn everything the hard way. I'm going to delay the votes here. I'm going to make a phone call and try to steal this election. There comes an indictment. Go find me pushing them for votes. Go find me 11,780 votes, burdening the states. He's going to get investigated, and he's going to end up, needing a lawyer.
Unbelievable.
Treason.
I mean, I can understand if you're an idiot like Donald Trump, but to be a freaking lawyer, I mean, and that goes to speak for all the other lawyers. Like,
it's bad enough with an MTG and Lauren Boebert, who are idiots and don't have a law degree, but he's got a law degree.
Mm-hmm. I get the sun, the bouquet, the whip. Yeah, there's going to be some fighting, some disputes, and all that, but it's more around. Yes, I asked if he would face legal jeopardy for trying to help Trump in this election. Yes, but it's like he's trying to bribe people. There's some sort of a bribe.
Bully him, push him, yeah.
Like a bribe, like, hey, but we'll get you a job, or I'm just saying, we'll
get your state this much money for this, or whatever.
Or we'll get you, you personally.
Yeah.
Forget the state. They could care less about the red states. They don't give a crap about the constituents. It's about the individuals personally. You know,
we'll get you a contract for, government contract for this or something. You take care of this.
Five of Cups, Three of Cups, there is regret over your little meeting there with your community, which is be the governor and the legislators that he met with, the lawmakers. There's Nine of Swords, so there is fear and anxiety over the discussion there with the Eight of Wands, because there's going to be, not that you were hiding it, but there's some exposure here too. After an investigation, the Hermit and the Sun. Not the greatest of combinations if you're trying to hide anything. The Hermit is wandering, looking for an answer. They're using their light, but then like a really giant one comes out of nowhere and says, here's what you're looking for. So it's not even like a whistleblower type thing. This is just someone coming forward, and I guess we'll know who they are. But we'll see it all. That's in the public there with the World card. But yes, he will have regrets. I don't get legal in here. But he is going to have some regrets over this because someone's going to make a meal out of it, which they should, because you are literally cheating.
I like I said, I haven't watched the news or too much Twitter this week, but I caught like a snippet that what they're trying to do now is tamper with the Electoral College.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new thing that they're trying to do. It's like,
Yeah, they need to get rid of the Electoral College and just do it all states.
no, but what does that tell
popular
you?
vote.
Tell you the Electoral College is the only saving grace the Republicans have, and now they're
because it enables them gerrymandering to work. If you get rid of the Electoral College, gerrymandering no longer works.
And because of the Electoral College, the minority is guaranteed to almost always win. Along with voter suppression and, like Jenny said,
party,
the voter suppression and gerrymandering. But also, what does it say that the system that we currently have that is designed to help the minority always have power? You're trying to dismantle that, because even that form of cheating, which is legal because it's what we use, is not even helping you. You know, it's just I don't get it.
I can't believe he'd be stupid enough to do this after what happened in Georgia, because he had to go testify. So why? I want to know why he did it.
Why Lindsey Graham?
Yeah, because he's already been through this in Georgia and got in trouble and got smacked and had to go testify.
I don't need to pull cards. I'll tell you why. Because he has not been held accountable.
Is it because he hasn't been held accountable, or is he being blackmailed?
See, here's the thing, too, because everybody asks since the beginning of Trump, what does he have on Pompeo? What does he have on Barr? What does he have on Lindsey? I don't think he just holds this trove of blackmail like that. I think, because what is his MAGA support? What does he have over them people? They follow him around like some weird stench that they feed off of, and they don't go the other way for whatever. Maybe he is just their tower moment. He is just part of their karma, and this is just the thing that they attach themselves to, and the rest of the world is supposed to sit back and take notes and say,
maybe this is their tower moment, and I pulled the tower card.
I need to figure out what not to do so I don't walk off the cliff with this fool here.
If they looked into it, a lot of it is corruption with the donors and the lobbyists and people that he partners with.
But Johnny, to your point, Donald Trump is too stupid to even know how to blackmail a person. He's too dumb.
He would have said it out loud. Everybody had to blackmail then.
He's too stupid. All he knows how to do is false for bravado and bully people. That's all he knows how to do. He's not intelligent enough to try to blackmail a person.
I don't blackmail. I just get Three of Pentacles. That's your collaboration. And then there's the Fool. They're just on his side. Mind you, he has the R. And maybe that's what they're more attached to, is because it can be anybody in that position. If it was McConnell there, they'd stand by him. If it was whoever. Because mind you, they had the opportunity to remove him a long time ago, and they did.
3 times, Johnny. 3 times.
Yeah.
If we're keeping track.
Power and money. Power and money.
They had 3 chances to jettison the guy, and nope, they kept going with it.
Well, speaking of criminals, Trump supporters, like in his circle, his inner circle, hate Laura Loomer, apparently, according to some reports I've seen. They don't
Oh,
like her.
really?
They think that she's like really toxic for his campaign and that she's not a very nice person. But I mean, who is? So what I want to know is, how is she affecting his inner circle or his campaign? Are they unhappy? Was it accurate? Because she's got a little too much power over him, I think.
You know, I gotta say, Johnny, I'm a bit disappointed that my TV show went away, because I was having so much fun watching those two just rip each other on Twitter. It was the most entertaining thing I have ever seen. Two Nazis trying to kill each other. I thought it was fantastic. And then it just poof disappeared. It's like, what happened? Mm-mm.
That's a mess.
Mm-mm.
Who would have thought it'd be one of their own to take down MTG, huh?
You know what? It's expected, because they eat each other. If
They
you ever,
do.
like, you know, not too long ago, it was MTG and Bimbo Bobert at it. You know what I mean? It's like they don't care about each other as a unit. It's they try to outperform. They're doing it for themselves, you know.
And he's going to keep her around till after the election to be the one to, oh, it's rigged, it's stolen, it's this, it's that, because she's a mouthpiece. But yeah, the vote has already changed. The women in America, they're voting for Kamala. So whatever she says doesn't affect it. He's already lost the vote, in other words. But she's going to be around to bully and badger and, you know, help push this into the courts and all that. She's a mouthpiece. That's the plan, to get everybody riled up and emotional to block the votes. She won't. She's not really changing it. I'm getting. People have already decided.
So how is she affecting the campaign? The child, the garden. The garden would be the campaign. The heart, the letter, and the coffin. She's not very effective. If anything, her influence is really, really small. Because I'm thinking back to Donald Trump's latest grand tableau. He is incapable of gaining more popularity. His tableau was the garden, the storks, the cross. So if the garden is popularity and the storks improves or adds to, well, it's followed by the cross. It's like he reaches a ceiling. He can't get up any higher. Do you see what I'm saying? So her effect on the campaign is pretty non-existent, really. If anything, she's just there to make people that are already part of that society, of that common way of thinking, more passionate to vote and to cast their ballots. But ultimately the campaign comes crashing down and dies, really. So Donald Trump, I think you're doing a fantastic job with Laura Loomer. Keep her around and make
They're
her.
saying in chat she was booted from the campaign today, but you know,
Well,
she's
maybe
still got his ear. She'll be traveling around with him.
this ends with the coffin, you know. So it's like, you know, by all means, as a matter of fact, make her your vice president, you know. So because you're Donald Trump and you do whatever you want, have JD Vance as your vice president and then Laura Loomer as your vice president. There you go.
If none of the other crazies affected it, you know, she's just one more in the scheme of things.
Because here's the problem. You could say, okay, she's not a part of the campaign, Even if she wasn't before, she doesn't have to be. She just needs to be around him. That's it. She don't need to be signed, sealed, delivered, or part of anything. She was the person talking in his ear, which made him get on that stage and say stupid stuff.
They're
And
eating
so
the cat. They're eating the cat.
she brings dishonor and defeat there with the Five of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. Some, or maybe just she, believes that she's good for the long term there. But here is, in the word of warning, is the Tower. It all comes crashing down. She is horrible for the campaign. She is horrible for not just the campaign, but the campaign morale. She is not very effective at all. Well, depends on what perspective you have. I think she's doing a bang-up job. So
he's been using her as his attack dog.
yeah,
That's
she should
all.
write her speeches, is what I think. That's what I think.
And she's, because she's trying to get herself more in the spotlight, she's out Marjorie Taylor Greening Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene is nasty, and she's like, how can I outdo Marjorie Taylor Greene? So
She should get one of them hold my beer shirts.
yeah, it's because I think somewhere deep down inside she recognizes that the only value that she has to Trump is how much she can provide for him. Because that's the way it is. And
In
once
many ways,
he's just going to discard her, and that's when she's going to come out and say, "You gave me herpes, gonorrhea, syphilis, freaking migraines, and all sorts of stuff." So I'm like,
speaking of syphilis, what is the effect of Melania's book on the family?
Melania's book on the family.
Mm-hmm. Her art piece that she put out.
Yeah, all these stories about Trump and Loomer going around. All of a sudden, there's Melania talking about all her art photos,
Melania,
reminding everybody she did a bunch of nude photos.
Melania, we don't really care, do you?
Yeah, but let me create some sensationalism about talking about my nude photos to try to sell books,
and it wasn't
or let me sabotage his campaign and talk about my nude photos.
And it wasn't just that. She made a couple of videos insinuating that both attempts on her estranged husband were from the government. So that's another person right there. Yank her freaking citizenship and send her packing right back to Transylvania, where she came from.
It's
If the
all
government was
about
trying to
the
kill
money.
your husband, they wouldn't have missed. Okay.
It's another grift. It's all about the money. I don't even have to pull cards. It's all about the money. So she's bringing money in. Does it affect the family? She fights with the family, but does it affect them? No, it's just work. Get it out there. Put it out on the internet.
How does it affect the family? They don't care. The mountain, the coffin, the sun, lilies, and storks. They don't care.
Trump said he hadn't even read it. Well, of course, because he didn't know how to read. But he admitted he hadn't even read it yet. It's like, how
book.
How would it affect them if none of them have read it?
Oh, big book. Seven of Swords in the middle. I did a box. There's a Seven of Swords in the middle. So it's a scheme of some sort. It's also grossly dishonest. I don't know how, but maybe it's photoshopped to photo. What do you call it? Airbrushed and all that kind of stuff too. I'm not going to begrudge you some airbrushing. So if I made a photo book, I'd airbrush it to hell too. So go right ahead.
If she'd put the nude photos in the book, Trump would have read it because he likes pictures.
He ain't gonna read it. There's child here though with behavioral issues. There is an effect there with the moon and the child because of this in particular thing. Why? Because there's a lot of harsh words that's being said in the public, or a lot of harsh words that he may hear as well. So people may tease him over this, even though he's grown at this point, but still, your family is an embarrassment because your he's a felon and your mother's a whore. So that type of thing. But here with the fool, he doesn't care at all. He's surrounded by the Three of Cups and the Sun, so he's fine. He doesn't care at all because, I mean, mind you, that's how he met her. She did nude photos. Remember back in the day when he used to say she was the classiest first president or first lady we ever.
Yeah,
Well, he was classy too with all his tacky gold furniture.
I remember the days when Republicans were screaming like their hair was on fire because Michelle Obama wore a sleeveless shirt.
Had her arms out. Oh my God.
But meanwhile,
Or a tan suit.
is splattered naked all over the internet in complete compromising positions, 2 seconds short of being the centerfold of a Hustler magazine, and not a peep. Not a peep. But tell me more about him, how inappropriate it is for a Black woman to be showing her arms.
Mm-hmm.
And there's MTG always in sleeveless dresses and shirts.
It's not, it's not that it was sleeveless. It's because it was a Black woman doing it.
I want to know, okay, I've seen this story several times. Apparently Trump's team, this is way back when he first left office, was asking for additional Secret Service, but he was always denied additional Secret Service. Why is that? Because even still, they won't give him additional Secret Service.
He's got the same amount Joe Biden has, I heard. Even with his staged attempts, I'll call it. For entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Hey, Ray.
Can I go?
Mm-hmm.
Lily's mountain dog, garden, son, Clover, bear. He was denied Secret Service, dog, garden, because all he was going to do was spend his time outside golfing at his golf course and raising the money on a bill for Secret Service.
Yeah, it's to make more money off of Secret Service having to stay at his house. It's self-indulgent. His lifestyle. Grift. It's all about grift.
There's your denial. 5 of Swords is defeat. Why? Because Ace of Wands, 7 of Wands, you have ample defense. You have enough. So that's why you get a no.
But we can charge you more. My golf course can charge you more if I have more people.
You're a supposed billionaire. Go hire your own security.
You know?
Oh, wait. They were down in the basement when you flooded it after trying to hide all the documents and stuff.
Will the document from Russia with Lev have any effect upon Donald Trump in his life, his cases, his legal
if you
jeopardy,
didn't see
freedom?
from Russia with Lev on Rachel Maddow had it on Friday night on MSNBC. It was fantastic. Like, we all knew, we heard the story and we saw him testify to Congress. We know what he got charged with, served time in prison and everything, but it was really interesting hearing from him, and he did it with a lot of humor too. It was interesting. I don't know if it's posted on MSNBC's YouTube channel or not, but it was awesome.
Oh, Johnny, here's another one for you. I don't know if you saw it. But I guess there's a reporter. I'm not sure where she was from. It was Washington Post or what. I don't know. That just got caught that she was having an affair with RFK Jr. And did you see that?
He's
Dear
going to end up
God.
divorcing his wife over it, probably.
Dear God.
He picks up bears and drops them off, dead bears and drops them off in Central Park.
His
And
wife is not too happy about his
he
Trump
cut the
endorsement.
head off of whales on the beach. And now he's having an affair with a lady that got laid off by New York Times or wherever she was working because she was having an
Olivia
affair.
Newsy from the New York Times. Thank you, Tasha. Yeah, I mean, this guy has, a freezer in his garage with roadkill so he can eat it. Like Johnny was, it's, and you're going to want to get with that.
What was our question, Johnny?
Come over and I'll cook dinner for you. I'll pass, thanks.
Yeah.
Mr. Brainworm, thank you. I'd prefer not to get a brainworm. Oh, from Russia. Yes.
I get a yes. The Crossroads, the mice, the writer. I did not watch that documentary or whatever it was, that interview, but this is saying the news, since it ends the line of this that comes before it, of how there was a team of people stealing an election and news of that coming out. So maybe people, at this point, I don't know who's undecided. In my mind, these people are imaginary, but yeah, it just further cements that there was a scheme to steal the election and then news of him losing an election. So
yeah, it's like the network involved in the pay-to-play scheme, foreign leaders involved, the whole planning behind it, that showed exactly how well thought out the plan was, so to speak. The changing the Mueller report, thank you, Barr. It definitely, there's going to be a return to this because it did, help him steal the election. There's going to be a return to this eventually. So I always said the Mueller report's going to come up again. It'd be interesting if they ever did something about Barr, but it shows all the corruption that people want to run from, that are sick of it. We're tired of you, Trump.
Justice is at a standstill right now with the Justice and the Four of Swords. It's kind of at a pause. The Four of Swords is not a stop. The Four of Swords is a pause because the Three Swords is you passed, and your one sword means you still have to get up and carry on. So there is something, but they're waiting for whatever reason, maybe to flip a House or a Senate or something like that. But here's Donald Trump with the Fool card, and then there's the Seven of Swords, which is theft, and the Page of Swords, which is lies. And so there is some conversation, especially about the secrets and the agenda with the High Priestess and the Eight of Wands. There's also a new name that will be coming up from this too. So we will hear some more people coming out and talking. So right now they're just waiting is all. And so after, which means it's more important to make sure that she can eliminate and remove the orange stain, because there's a whole lot that is writing upon this. That was the last reading, but I do want to let y'all know too, something I seen. Representative Crockett's amendment was adopted and passed out on the House floor September the 10th, 2024, and I just seen this. Specifically, the amendment added new and refined criteria whereby if an institution is one that willfully, any institution, willfully and knowingly engages in malicious activity, including online disinformation campaigns and propaganda for the purpose of interfering in United States federal, state, or local elections, it shall be deemed an entity of concern. And so that has passed the House floor by Jasmine Crockett. Somebody's at work, bless her heart. And so people like a Facebook and a Twitter. Entity of concern means that the federal government will put you on a list and a whole bunch of other things. You could be sanctioned. You could, there's a whole bunch, because mind you, every time I Google entity of concern, it just says foreign entity of concern, but it's pretty much the same thing, just domestic. And so that has passed because, again, somebody is at work.
It
But
was
now,
interesting at the end of that documentary. She apologized to Hunter Biden, and Hunter was so great. Like he just sounds like his dad when he talks. He was like asking questions like, yeah, and you have to remember this was filmed before Hunter was found guilty, before his court case, right? And he was hearing from Lev, like, okay, so they did go and get an FBI search warrant to get my phone and my laptop and my this and my that. Like he wasn't aware of all that had gone on, like who was behind it. And the disinformation, it really slammed Fox News also. So it'll be real interesting to see if Fox News faces some.
Well, the kids are all in court right now. Well, Rupert Murdoch is in court with his 4 kids, not trying to give the other kids, because one of the kids is saying that Fox News is too divisive and they need to be more non-propaganda lies and bullcrap. So I know that Rupert Murdoch is currently in court trying to keep the kids other than Lachlan from getting the owning Fox News. But yeah, run the whole entity down into the ground.
but I just want to remind everyone that make sure you're registered, make sure you know where to go, and you got everything that they say you're going to have, whether it's blood sample, your firstborn, or whatever. Make sure you have it, because this is very important, not just for the Kamala Harris ticket, but AOC is going after the Supreme Court. Jasmine Crockett is going after anybody in her path, too. So we've got
on a rate list
outside of Kamala Harris that need some engine, they need some steam, they need some people, they need numbers. Numbers rule everything in the universe, and so it's here.
And if I may, also the importance, to Johnny's point, of down ballot and local. My biggest reason to vote this year, which I vote every year, but my biggest reason right now is reproductive rights. I just saw the Michael Steele show this weekend, little bits and pieces of it on YouTube. And he had a lawyer there talking about how these red states are just doing horribly. Do you know what she said? That in Louisiana, one of the poorest states in our union, that doctors were in court trying to get the representatives in Louisiana to undo the no exceptions, because they were seeing 8-year-old girls that had been SA'd that were pregnant. 8 years old. 8 years old. Think about that. That is a child in what, 2nd grade? 3rd grade? And you're going to make her a single mother? And they all said no. Yeah, she can be a single mom by 9, 3rd grade.
And when doctors are coming to you pleading, and teachers are coming to you saying, I don't want to go to jail because somebody read a book that's banned. All of that stuff is on the line. Outside of just Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, all of that other stuff is on the line too. So just make sure we're going out there. Take your anger to the poll. Yes. Mind you, don't let it poison you, because we don't need to be sour people. But at the same time, take it to the poll with you. Make sure you mark, make sure you do your part. That's all we can do. The rest is in the universe and the intention's hands. So
do it.
We have to take care of each other.
Do it for the women and the little girls who need
voices.
Please.
History is watching. History is watching. When we look back and we see all the stuff that people didn't do that they should have done. Let's not be those people. So, well, next week we'll be on Jen's channel, and we'll be in Portland, Oregon. If you're coming to the seminar, it should be around 70 degrees, and the second week it should be around 60 degrees. But it's going to be very cold at night, so make sure you got your jackets and stuff to wind blow there in the city. Bring your stretchy pants. There's a lot of good stuff to eat there too, and so we will see y'all next week.